And welcome back, everybody, to the Unfiltered Podcast. As always, my name is The Kip.
I'm Jay Jones. What's up?
St. Joe in the hizzy.
And we are glad that you're back for another episode of Nonsense with us. And Nonsense is what you're going to get this week. And thank you for everybody for tuning in to last week, Do You Believe in Hell, with our special guest, MK McDaniel. That was a fun time. But Jay Jones is back. And how is Seattle, my friend?
Seattle's amazing. I actually was amazed by the stadium, how loud it is. I know that a lot of people will say that Kansas City Stadium in the NFL is very, very loud. I've never been in a place louder than Lumen Field in my life. And I'd even say that the fans there, I mean, if you ever get a chance to go to a game in Philadelphia, do it. But don't dare wear your team's colors.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get beat up, knifed, shot in the parking lot. But out there, the fans were cool. It's not that they were buddying up and everything, but they were, it was like a college atmosphere. But,
Nice.
The Donkeys, lost. So that wasn't great. But other than that, it was fantastic. I mean, Seattle's a very, very cool town.
Me and your new head coach are going to fight because I've taken the Broncos now 2 games and they've let me down twice when you play against the spread.
Well, Nathaniel
Hackett, yes.
as his name is, there's not a lot of people that are fans of him. I think the players probably enjoy playing for him because he's what they describe as a player's coach. However, I don't know if that roster really needs the players coach or if they need a real coach.
Right.
And I think it could be a fine line of both, but we'll see what happens. They've got good players, but they're playing in the toughest division in football, so we'll see what becomes of it. I had a lot of hope going into the season, but I don't see the kind of firepower and the defense that I thought they'd have.
I think you'll be okay with Russell Wilson, but I thought very 2 easy games that you could go 2-0, and now we said it 1-1.
Yeah. Hey, how about them Jacksonville Jaguars though?
How about the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I can't fucking believe what they did this last weekend.
Against, if it were like against like the Texans or, somebody like that, it really wouldn't count. But Indy's a real team, man. And they were 1 game away from the playoffs last year when Jacksonville beat their ass last year.
Yeah.
So, I was telling the soon-to-be world-famous wife that some teams just have the other team's number, and that's the Colts for the Jaguars. Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, we play the Chargers on Sunday, so
I mean, you have the chance to. I mean, you can have a mediocre, half-ass shitty team in Jacksonville. You have a decent team in Miami this year, and you have a perennial power in Tampa Bay. I mean, not too many states have that going on. So,
and also, currently, as we sit right now, on the 20th of September, 2022. The Jacksonville Jaguars are in sole possession of first place in the AFC South.
Which is crazy. Yeah, Tennessee has really gone downhill. And, it
is the worst division in the NFL by far. But if you win it, you're in the playoffs, baby.
Well, even that. I mean, yeah, but I mean, and you don't have to have that great of a record to win it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could potentially finish 500.
Dude, I'm thinking 5-12 might be.
Mean, a losing record could win this division. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Yeah,
isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
Well, it's more exciting than the Bears gave us on Sunday night.
Yeah, it was a tough one. But
they fucking suck.
I mean, they're not good. They're not good.
No.
They started off good, but then they just don't have an offense. And apparently they don't have a defense either.
Yeah.
But
They got Aaron Rodgers.
he owns them. Yeah, he
Yeah.
owns them. Yeah,
He's their daddy,
yeah.
Right.
He's something.
Facts.
That guy.
parent
That guy.
figure.
He's an
All right.
idiot.
Well, now that everybody's clicked off because we were talking sports,
Yeah, true.
you know.
I wanted to say congrats on the episode last week. It was impressive because, well, first of all, I listened to it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I think a lot of people enjoyed it. I mean, while she maybe, have some different views, you guys let her, share her experiences and her opinions, which in the long run, when I go back and look at it, I'm super glad I wasn't on that episode last week. And I'm actually positive that you guys and Kathy are very happy as well, because I wasn't there to fucking ruin it and hammer her. But it was nice I think that's a lot of the way that it should probably go with guests, instead of, me just motherfucking them. So, but I would have asked her some questions like, hey, I mean, did you see this? Did you see that? I liked that, you asked her about a bar, or whatever, but it was a good episode, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a good listen. So, kudos to you boys for that. I know we have some more guests coming up in the future, and I'm going to go against my better judgment, and I'm just going to shut the fuck up when we get guests on in the future. But this last week, for the last 2 weeks, the United Kingdom, Great Britain, and all of them have been dealing with the death of the Queen. And so that being on TV, and a lot of my family is from Wales. That's where they, come from. And so going back and looking at it, we have some history that coincides with the royal family, which is cool. And I'm not going to bore people with that aren't into ancestry and genealogy, but I found myself watching a lot of it, and I didn't really know why I felt like watching it, because a lot of it was boring, a lot of pomp and circumstance, people standing around, but very cool outfits. I mean, the uniforms that those Brits wear are fantastic. But, I also, it helps share my lack of knowledge, because I didn't realize that Canada was part of any of that. I didn't realize that Canada still falls under the monarchy, and I did know that Australia did. And granted, they're, whether they're commonwealths or whatever they are, they have their own governments, just like, the UK has their own government as well. But the king now presides over all of it. No law gets, granted unless he actually signs it, or she would sign it for the last 70 years. But apparently since 1708, no law has ever been, denied. If it's been presented, they've signed it. So, but I was amazed to find out the amount of wealth that the royal family has. They call them back, I guess in the early 1900s, Queen Elizabeth's father called the royal family the firm, for, financially called the firm. And just liquid, apparently they $28 billion. That is just in the properties that they own there, in the mansions, the jewels, the arts. I mean, they have over $10 billion in art, just in art that they have. Their art collection is incredible. But what amazed me is that they have over $1 trillion in wealth if you count all of the actual property that the kingdom owns. And that would include all of Australia, even though, yes, landowners, they have it, but the queen or the king now owns all of it first and foremost. And that goes for all of the, Bahamas, Scotland, England. It's incredible. It kind of, a lot of people say it's not really a position of, political power. It is. I mean, It's pretty amazing. I didn't know anything about all of that. I learned a lot this week just watching the farewell to the Queen.
I can't decide, and I'm one of the guys that gets caught up in the pomp and the circumstance, of the breaking of the thing that,
The
like, the
staff.
guy yesterday. This,
Mhm.
yeah. I get caught up in that. But I for years I have said that I cannot decide whether the royal family is incredibly interesting or incredibly absurd because of I guess it's because of the attention that they get or that they draw onto themselves on purpose. Some of them, but they are under almost constant scrutiny, and maybe I'm just pissed at them how they handled the whole Diana thing back in the 90s. But, I'm one of the ones that thought that Charles would never be king.
Mhm.
Right.
I thought even if she died, that they'd skip him, which I don't
What
think
is it
you
called?
can.
Adjudication, or is that right? Is that the word?
Abdication.
No.
Abdication. Yeah.
Yeah.
Adjudication is when they, like, you get arrested and
Oh,
They
God.
throw out certain parts in court.
Well,
right. But
I was,
abdication is,
one of the
Right.
things that is amazing is when you are the king or the queen, it is completely against the law to they are untouchable when it comes to laws. Their charges cannot be filed against a queen or a king. It's not like the president here where they can, file charges on a president.
Right.
No, you are completely untouchable. And it's in their laws that cannot, you're untouchable 100%.
Right.
But I think about, like, with Prince Andrew, the
Right,
one
exactly.
brother who was part of the Epstein
Right.
Love Island or whatever the fuck that was.
Mhm.
And for them to allow him to put on his colors, his military uniform, even part of that vigil, to even be part of it. I mean, it's I don't know, it's just ridiculous. I mean, she stripped him of all his titles and everything, but nope, there he is.
Yep.
And
Well, I thought I heard somewhere, and I could be wrong, but I thought I heard Prince Andrew is King Charles' brother.
correct. There's
And I
four
thought I heard,
children.
yeah, I thought I heard somewhere that Charles if he has to, like, kind of like the 25th Amendment here, if he has to, if King Charles has to go, like, under the knife or under anesthesia or anything like that, or cannot produce his.
Yes, there are 4 people that he can.
Yeah, and I think Prince Andrew is one of them.
As of right now, yes.
I thought Charles had come out.
It
and
was
said,
for Queen Elizabeth. She actually had him listed as well.
Oh, wow.
It was Charles, Andrew, and it was Harry and William still.
Right.
And but now I think that they're going to kick Andrew out and add Princess Anna. Is that her name? I think the Queen's daughter.
And
yeah.
Yeah. But if something would happen to Charles right now, it would go directly to
William
William,
next.
And then William's son, and then William's daughter.
Yeah, and it would skip it, and then Harry's like screwed.
Well, he's the second born.
He's like 7th in line or something.
Yeah. I think that whole lineage thing is fun.
And not to mention, since he, since he decided to step down from his duties as a governing royal or whatever they called them, he he doesn't. I mean, hell, he lives in California.
Right.
I mean, but when he got his inheritance from his mother passing, I mean, it was $12.2 million. And then he invested that money and then his property in California and everything else. I mean, he's worth an estimated $60 million today.
So a couple things that you said, which are interesting there. Another point there is that, first of all, you said they own all of the land, right?
Correct.
But they don't own about a foot by a foot in Scotland, because I bought a piece
here's the wonderful thing of it. Just like the people that own
I own a
houses there,
castle.
and you own your businesses and you
I'm
own
a
everything
lord,
else.
God damn it.
Yep.
But when it comes down to it, now granted, it's not like the king can sell all the property in Australia or Scotland. He can't just say, "Oh, here it's up for sale." No.
Right.
But in their laws or rules or whatever it's called, they are actually the rightful owner of all the
That's
property.
insane. Wow,
And,
that's crazy.
I mean,
That's pretty interesting. That's
It
pretty
is
interesting.
insane. It's crazy, but I mean, it's interesting, and I
Yeah.
found it to be quite entertaining. It was. That was a lot of people waiting for 12 and 14 hours in the queue.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
To see her, and I heard like they thought like 1 million people were lining the streets to see her, which is that's
what's
pretty
crazy. These
too.
people are paying for all that.
Yeah.
I mean, their taxes
Yeah.
are paying for this and all of this.
And then
It's nuts.
you said that the other thing you brought up about the inheritance that they got. Do you think? And I mean, this would be interesting too. Probably the answer is no. But when she dies, do you think there is any
$600 million.
inheritance?
$600 million.
Is that right? That got split up?
No, it goes directly to King Charles.
He just automatically gets
So
$600 million.
her net worth and all of her property was estimated to be valued at $600 million.
Wow.
All of her, whatever castles were hers, the properties, the art, all that stuff. Okay, so it's the royal families, but he's the monarch.
Yeah.
So she was worth 600 million. The day she died, within an hour, he became worth 600 million. He was already worth 100.
Sure.
And because he was the Duchy of
Cornwall
and everything else, and now that is now Williams. Williams went up from being, he was worth of 40 to 60. Now
Duke
he's
Cambridge, right?
yes. Now he's worth 100+ million.
That's
he's also the manager. I did read this. He's also the manager of the Duchy of Cornwall.
Yes.
And in that management, in that like kind of, package was like $2.5 billion or something that he has to manage between properties and all that good stuff.
It's a ridiculous amount of wealth.
Right.
Does the Duchy of Cornwall have a drive-through?
Seriously.
Absolutely.
and what is their specialty that they make?
Yeah, who knows?
I know a lot of people were upset with Charles because of the divorce of Diana and that he married somebody who was also divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The King's Speech. It's about Queen Elizabeth's father, the stutterer, and King George the Sixth or whatever. Anyhow, he wasn't in line to be king. His brother was, right? King Edward. And he was actually king for like a year after the death of their father. And there's a very funny line, my favorite line in that movie, to where he wants to abdicate his throne to go marry somebody who's divorced. And Elizabeth's father's like, you can't marry her. You are head. The church does not recognize divorce, and you are head of the church. And maybe and my point is, maybe that slipped me that the monarch, when they say defender of the faith,
correct,
that means they're the head of the church.
Head of only. So the Westminster Abbey, okay, and the church there, that's the only, because it's Protestant, and that's the only church that they're head of. Okay, it's not like all the churches of the land or the realms or anything like that. It's one church, one cathedral, that one place. And yes, they are head of that church.
Right. I believe
because they used to, they had a bishop when that first started. And when that bishop ended, then they got rid of that, and then it became their church.
And that's a pretty cool place if you've ever been there.
Westminster Abbey is incredible. There's a lot of people buried and entombed there.
Mhm.
and it's a very cool place.
I was also shocked that they put her in the floor.
Well, she was resting. She's lying in state.
Well,
Oh, no,
they
no.
lowered her into the floor of
She's
Westminster Abbey yesterday.
Oh, for when though she'll be buried there as
no,
in the tomb.
that wasn't Westminster Abbey,
Or wherever, Windsor.
and she'll be buried next to her husband.
Right.
And,
She'll be buried at Windsor.
Yeah, he's in the floor too, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe they're both entombed there.
Yeah.
In the floor.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
the crypt,
Yeah.
which is underneath there. Another thing that a little breakaway from the Royals, which have absolutely nothing to do with us. So I'm glad I could talk about them. But it was one of my friends I saw on social media this week, and then they were talking about it on the news. Have you guys heard this down there in Florida of these kids in school, high schools and junior highs, that are identifying as cats?
Furries.
Okay. Nope. Furries are different. These children are seriously identifying as cats, and they are saying that they need to be treated as such. They don't have to speak because, well, cats can't speak, and that they are apparently eating their food off of trays and floors without their hands. They are wanting litter boxes to be placed in restrooms.
Yep.
It's this fucking bullshit is just too much.
Yeah.
I'm all for anybody being whatever you want to fucking be. But guess what? So, people used to get made fun of, obviously, for being a homosexual or being transgender or being whatever. And I'm still all fine for all that. Be what you want to be. But now you're going to, next thing you know, people go, I'm a fucking monkey. I'm going to throw shit at my teachers.
Yes,
or it's fucking ridiculous. It's just gone too far. I mean, at least be a human.
What type of supervisory figure is putting up with this bullshit?
Right.
I'll go out on the limb here and, you identify as non-binary or whatever, but when you start identifying as a different fucking species, you know what, folks? Game fucking over.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just fucking stupid. It's,
Oh.
I mean, and I didn't think it was real. And then, I mean, now granted, the litter boxes, I haven't heard, there's been no proof of that actually being placed, but there's real proof of children being allowed to be recognized as cats, as felines in schools and not having to speak because they're cats. I mean, do cats do homework? Do cats get college scholarships? Can cats perform? Can they play sports?
Can they fail classes for not doing any work?
Do they just sleep all day in school?
Yeah. Do they get to lay in the windows?
I mean, because that's pretty much what a cat does all day long.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
That letting me meet a motherfucker like that. I mean, seriously, that is easily the dumbest thing I've heard this week.
Yeah. I have heard about it though. My kid actually came home and told me about it, and I'm like, "You've got to be kidding me!"
Furries.
Yeah.
Well, furries,
no, that's a different thing.
Are costumes. They're playing a character.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I don't give a shit. When you go to a Star Wars convention and all these motherfuckers are dressed up as fucking Han Solo, Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, fucking C-3PO, that's nothing more than a costume. Just like when furries go to furry conventions. Yes, they are acting like they're this character.
Right.
Same with that kind of stuff, no matter what you go to. But no, a furry and a fucking identifying as a
These
fucking
people
cat,
actually believe it. Right.
That's way different. It's way different.
Yeah.
It's ignorant.
Interesting.
You know what? If you're out there and you identify as a cat,
how are they going to come on? How are they going to talk to us?
Yeah, they can't come on the show.
I thought you were going to invite them on.
They can't.
We can just sit there and stare at them.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to purr in the fucking microphone?
Meow. They can't do it. Yeah.
It's crazy. That's the new one for me. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah. You might want to ask the soon-to-be world-famous wife.
The identifying thing has hit a ceiling. It's gone way too fucking far.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, if you're out there, you got a problem with me saying that. Keb lives, Keblives. Come on,
Yeah.
yeah, bring it the fuck on.
I'm
You know,
all for people. Yeah, be what you want to be, but at certain things, I mean, when it comes to school and education, especially for the youth and this, that, and the other, which I firmly believe that obviously there needs to be a better educational system for. I mean, I really we may not have had as many options, but I believe that we were getting a better education back when we were in school in the 80s. Okay. I
Right.
mean, and just there was a little bit of respect for teachers and the educational system, and I just don't believe it's there anymore.
so do you guys know this is going to be a little controversial, but fuck it. Do you guys know who Ricky Gervais is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Talking about English people. Okay, so he has a new special out on Netflix, and you should check it out because you know the reason that I like Ricky Gervais as much as I do is because he makes social issues funny and he
Mhm.
brings to light things that you're just kind of like, yeah, never really looked at it that way. And here's one of them when they're talking about cancel culture and all this. 10 years ago, this is very true. 10 years ago, the one thing that no one else put on Twitter or Facebook or whatever was women don't have penises,
Mhm.
right? Because we didn't think we had to, you know, and that's the number one thing. If you go out there and seriously say, and you know, be like Ben Shapiro or somebody like that, Tucker Carlson, they like to pick on him, and they say, okay, women don't have penises, man, people will fight you, you know,
Mhm.
because of the whole identifying thing. And shine what your personal belief is, what my personal belief is. That's not the point. When you start identifying as a fucking cat,
Yeah.
we have gone too fucking far.
I agree.
Mhm. Mhm.
I agree.
Yeah. And he got in
So
trouble because he made a joke about a chick raping another raping somebody, and
he
she
gets in
said,
trouble
and he's
for
you mean
everything.
he said, yeah.
He gets in trouble for everything, yet he's
Yeah.
still on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
just
Or
you know,
hosting the Golden Globes or the Oscars or whatever it
he is
was.
the
Yeah.
best Golden Globe
Oh, he funny.
host by far.
Yeah. Yeah.
By far.
Yeah. He's funny. Yeah.
Cool.
Good.
What you
Cool.
got, man? You got a cup of Joe?
What are we sipping
Kind
on?
of. Kind of.
Jason, what are we sipping on?
Nothing special. Nope. So, yeah, questions more than a cup of Joe. So, um, funny thing happened to me today, and we'll get to that here in a minute.
They're called
But
hemorrhoids.
what?
They're called hemorrhoids.
Yeah, no, not again. So
This
it,
fucking thing's hurt. I don't know if you ever had one.
oh,
I had one in my life. I thought I had to go to the fucking emergency room, man.
it's terrible. But a real pain in the ass. So it brought me to another little thing that boo. Can't hear that up. Yeah. Okay. Um, if um, if you got thrown in jail, and we may have asked this before, I don't remember, but if you had to go to jail and you had to call somebody, is there a specific person that you would call?
Like to bail yourself out
Right.
or to bail out?
Do you have a person that you would call?
Yeah.
I do. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
So-
it's not predetermined, but I know who I would. If it happened right now, I
right.
know who I would call.
All
Yeah.
right. Here's the better thing. Do you know their phone number?
I do.
Okay. Because then the reason I'm asking that is because this day and age, nobody knows phone numbers because they just look at their phone and they're like, okay, I'm going to call cab, J. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking about that and I'm going, I don't even know if I know a phone number if I get thrown in jail.
You do.
I don't know if I do. So
You-
I'm like,
if
I
you
know
had
my
to
mom
call-
and
There
dad's
you
phone
go.
number, or I'm like, I mean, I could call my wife.
That's
But then I'm
probably who
thinking-
you should call.
Well, maybe not. That
I
might
mean-
be the reason I'm in jail. So I'm like, wait a second.
I think
So-
I think when it comes to those phone numbers, if it predates, if you knew the person predating, cell
Correct.
phones, then you're gonna, because you can probably remember the childhood number that you had at your house,
Correct.
and then all the landlines. I mean, I still remember, friends from high school's numbers,
Right.
things of that nature. But I remember, but like the person who I would call, I've known him since I was 8 years old. And
Okay.
he's one of those people that's had the same fucking phone number for forever.
Right.
So, but I think you should know like your parents' phone number, certainly
Sure.
your wife's phone number. The
Sure.
reason I know the soon to be world famous wife's phone number is because every time I go to fucking Walgreens, I got to plug it in to get my fucking points, motherfucker.
Okay, good point. I mean, well, why aren't you plugging your own phone number in?
Yeah, because it's set up under her because the soon to be world famous wife's a professional shopper.
There you go.
There's
Fair
no
enough.
way, nowhere you go that she does not have rewards, and it's all done on her phone number.
All right, fair enough.
Perfect.
Fair enough.
You know,
So I mean, but so let me think. So you're saying, why would you be going to jail? All right. And so here's my other thing. So I'm
was it
driving.
suspicion of altar boy nonsense?
No, the record
Okay.
was clear. So a couple
Alright.
other points. So I'm driving to work today. It's dark as hell because I had to be there early. And I'm like not paying attention, just going down the street, la da 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 da. Got my little app on where I'm going. Normally the app announced police ahead, police ahead. Okay. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Going. And all of a sudden I look behind me and I get lit up. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. This guy's coming for me? No way. Yep. Pull over, sir. Pull over. And I'm like, oh, crap. So I go up, and sure enough, Officer Friendly, whatever his name, comes up and he goes, any reason you're going 62 and a 45? And I go, nope. Nope. You got me. Son of a bitch. You got me. And he goes, okay, I'll be right back. Comes back, and, I haven't had a ticket forever. So I'm thinking, all right, maybe he's a nice guy. And he comes, all right, well, I did you a favor. I knocked it down. Here's your ticket. Great. Thanks. See you later, buddy. And I'm like, okay. So no idea how much it cost or whatever. He said, you'll get your ticket in the mail. Great. I have no idea how much the fine's going to be or whatever, but I got a ticket. And I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking, well, if he knocked it down from like excessive or reckless driving or whatever, I could have been in jail and I would have no idea who to call. So
were you
I don't know.
were you in Duval County?
Clay, and they don't
You're in
mess
Clay?
around.
Definitely don't want to go.
Nope.
That
Nope.
definitely that's if you live in Clay County, you are a fucking redneck.
Yeah, that's like prison, dude. You're
yeah,
like going to
except for Beebs. Beebs,
Yeah, that's
Beebs
like
is cool.
that's
If
like
you're in Clay County, call Beebs if you're going to jail.
yeah.
If you get a ticket and somebody pulls out, the cop pulls you over, comes up. Do you know why I pulled you over? Oh, that depends on how long you're following me.
Yeah, exactly. Took you a while to catch up there, buddy. So a couple other questions then is when they run the license, I mean, I'm sure they can see everything that's on there. And I'm like, is there anything that would be on your license that you wouldn't want them to see?
On me?
I mean, you
No.
don't have to divulge any long history. See, but I'm
No,
like,
and they can see it because when they run your license, okay, they run it through obviously through the state and the county that you're in,
right.
and then
right.
they run it through NCIC. It's a real quick check. They check for warrants and
Oh, that's right. You
stuff.
used to be we
Yes,
found that out, right?
yes,
Yeah, that's right.
and so they go to their little terminal, and then they can do it two ways now. They can either go into their own little MDT, their computer in their car, type it in, the plate, the registration comes up, insurance comes up. They can check the license, driver. They can check whatever they want, or they can call it into dispatch.
Gotcha.
Dispatch is getting the same information through their MDT as they are, but yeah, so they can find out anything and everything. They're going to see
basically they're
all
just
of it.
looking. They're doing a quick check to see warrants or anything like that, and
Exactly.
and then they check the history. Say, all right, yeah, you haven't had a ticket for 10 years or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, they can see if you're a habitual traffic offender, if you're
Gotcha.
child molester, if you're a
Right.
felon, if you have
Right.
weapons charges, stuff like that, violent crimes, anything.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. That's interesting. Okay. Because I mean, I've never. I mean, not like I would be curious to see what pulls up if you run that report. I'm sure you could run it on yourself
you?
to find out. Maybe.
The best way to find out, seriously, is to go to your local law enforcement agency
And just have them run one.
Police services, and ask them, can you please run a background check for me? Can you check? I need my drive. You can get your driving record like that online.
Yeah.
But as far as your criminal background, you can also get that. It's very, very simple.
Well, I've had them for like job interviews or whatever, so I imagine it's the same kind of thing.
Depends how in depth they go. I mean, each state has their own Bureau of Investigation. There's a big FBI. Then there's Florida has their own bureau, and so does every state.
Sure.
So I mean, there's a lot of checks, and they can go. It depends on how in depth and what kind of job you're interviewing for.
Sure. Curious though, or how far back they go or whatever. But yeah. But then what was the other one? Oh, so what's the last question, I guess, really is, what's the weirdest thing that you've ever been pulled over for, if you have been?
I have.
You're a safe driver. You're a good driver.
Yes, but
I know Kebs is driving with his hazards on in the rain.
Right. Tell you the truth, I haven't been pulled over by a police officer since the Clinton
there.
since the Clinton administration. However, and let me knock on wood. However,
no doubt.
I got a couple of these dumb fucking things in Clay County.
Called, they don't mess around there, which is
called red light tickets.
Yep. Okay.
They're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And I thought Florida
from the cameras.
Yeah. I thought Florida had outlawed them. No, Duval County outlawed them.
Yeah.
And so this just is more evidence of why there's no fucking reason to go to Clay County.
Yeah. So red light cameras.
And everybody's out there, because I checked the geolocation demographics, and I know that the Two Penny is big in Nova Scotia, but we're big in Toronto.
Oh, nice.
And Toronto, and we are number one podcast in Washington State this week.
Nice.
So for all of our fans out there that don't know where Clay County is, just know that in Florida, it's where the fucking rednecks live.
It is pretty redneck.
Yeah.
So,
and I know we got at least 5 listeners that live in Clay County.
Yeah, a few. Jay, nothing major, nothing, interesting that you know.
No.
Okay, so here's one for you that is funny, that I think you'll find funny. So I got pulled over for impeding traffic. And let me explain, because Kev will get a kick out of this.
Yeah, what the fuck does that mean?
So I saw the cop, and I knew I'm going in the left lane, which is what? The passing
lane.
Correct. I saw him, and I'm going fast. And when you see a cop, the first thing you do is slow down, right?
Yeah.
So he darted out.
If you're speeding.
Correct. So he darted out and got behind me. I was in the passing lane, and I was going slow enough, 55, whatever it was at that time, to not pass people in the passing lane. And he lit me up because I was going too slow, impeding traffic in the passing lane.
Me and that cop would have a fucking discussion.
So he pulled me over, and he's...
Oh no, we lost the audio.
That's a goddamn shame right there.
What the fuck? Cam, did you mute him?
I did not mute him. I did not mute him.
That's
weird. There he is.
That
was very shit. Don't get so excited and you jostle around and you hit a fucking wire, and now we're fucking like the fucking Catholics,
I did hit a wire or something. Oh, you know what happened? I know what happened.
I mean, make it unhappen.
I know exactly what happened.
So for those of you that aren't able to watch tonight, St. Joe's not wearing pants.
No,
wow.
So anyway, the cop got behind me, and he pulled me over to the side, and then he said, okay, so why are you going so slow? And I'm like, because you're behind me. And he's like, but you're in the passing lane. And I said, yes. And he goes, you can't go slow in this lane. This is the passing lane. And I said, but if I go fast, I'm going to get a ticket. And he goes, no, you have to go fast in this lane. And I said, but if I go fast, then I'll be speeding. And he goes, don't explain the laws to me. And I said, okay, great. And he says, so what do you want me to do? You want me to go faster? And he goes, yes. So you're telling me to speed? No. I said, well, we're in a catch-22 here.
Well, it's just like it happened a lot when I was still doing the job. It was, it was your discretion on a
Right.
lot of things.
Right.
You had a lot of discretion, and a lot of that discretionary stuff can pose a lot of problems.
Right.
And back then, it wasn't what it is now. The political climate has changed. Everybody thinks they're a lawyer and understands the laws better than law enforcement, this, that, the other, whatever.
Yeah.
Go ahead and grab the state statutes book for your fucking state. And I can promise you, you don't know shit.
Right.
If you happen to be a lawyer or in law enforcement, or a driver's ed teacher, maybe you do. But if not, you're probably half educated.
Right.
But when, like, sometimes if you pulled somebody over, and let's say they had a driver's license that was expired, but it wasn't taken away because they were a habitual traffic offender, or they weren't always driving recklessly, or drunk driving issues. They didn't renew their license. It was pretty obvious. It passed, it lapsed, whatever. You can tell them, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and, you can't be driving. You need to get your license renewed. You cannot drive. Well, how do you want me to do my car? I'm going to go ahead and leave now. Don't drive. Well, how am I going to? I'm going to leave now.
Right.
So,
Right.
I mean, it's it's one of those things. He's telling you, I don't want to see you speeding, but I don't want you impeding traffic either, you dumb fuck.
Exactly.
So,
Yep.
fix your microphone, will you?
Yeah, I
you know,
know.
you know what's funny, Jay, is that you say that just this weekend. My best friend calls me and he's like, "Hey, can you come and help me?" And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, Danny got fucking pulled over again," and that's his brother. That's his brother, and he's like, and he's got a suspended license, and he's probably going to jail. So I got to go pick up his car, and this and that, and this and that's all the way on the other side of town. So, and I'm like, look, man, I got important shit to do. I got to be back for the fucking Gator game,
Yeah.
And so, I mean, important shit. So he calls me back like 10 minutes later, and he's like, we don't have to go. And he's like, the cop told him, I'm going to make an adult decision to go that way.
Yep.
That's funny.
And he goes, after I'm gone, I don't know where you go.
Yes.
So
That is called,
it's
I
funny
don't
you
want
bring
the
that up.
paperwork. I don't want the paperwork.
Yeah.
I don't want the fucking.
You're saving me
Because
a lot.
What
of
a lot of
trouble.
people don't realize is, and maybe they do, but there is a lot of paperwork when you arrest someone. Even
Yeah.
when you write a ticket, it's not as much paperwork. When you go and you do your end of watch report, you write down what you did. Obviously, there's a log, but when you arrest someone, that's a lot of paperwork. When you arrest somebody for a DUI, that's a ton of hours. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Oh, I know. I mean, I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah. No, I thought when I got, at 5:30 or 6 o'clock this morning, whatever, when I got pulled, I'm like, what am I going to talk about today? And I'm thinking, a couple of things went through my head, and I'm like, all right, let's see. So, yeah,
Okay.
maybe we got a little more in depth, but whatever. What the hell, right? Nonsense. Important nonsense.
I love the nonsense.
Maybe we helped somebody.
Maybe.
Lesson learned is don't speed, you idiot.
Now
And don't impede traffic.
From what I understand, you telling somebody to speed is kind of like, Joseph McSuckcock telling people to keep their pants on.
Oh, well, it's going to, it's not going to happen. I'm going to speed again. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
On the Garden
So-
State Parkway, if you don't speed, you are going to get ran the fuck over.
That's
Yeah,
how it
and-
is in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Um,
In Atlanta, if you don't go 20 miles over the speed limit, you're going to get run over.
speed
and probably
limit
pulled
is
over.
55 and 65 all along the parkway, and it's 80 miles an hour. I mean, there are, troopers sitting on the side of the road. If you're under 15 over, they're not going to pull you over unless you're weaving in and out of traffic or being,
Well, and I don't know how it is up there, but there's literally points here. Like if I would have got pulled over by where I live, the cop would have said, "Listen, just slow down. Here's your license back.
Yeah.
It's fine."
some have
But
a no
you
tolerance.
Well, you cross the bridge, and it's like you're going to jail. That's reckless driving. You're done. You're
Yeah.
over. And if where I was today, it's you catch a cop and he had his donuts and coffee. Okay, here's this. Here's what's going on. Not to stereotype anybody, but it's kind of one of those things. And it's like, but you're going to get a ticket no matter
You
what.
caught this guy at the end of his shift. I can
It
promise
could
you.
be. It could be. Yeah. And I mean, he was a motorcycle cop in a really good hiding spot. And it was dark and I could not see that cop at all. He was in a really good spot. And I was
I
like,
guess you could have been catching him coming on. Not a lot of motorcycle cops work nights. So
yeah. Well, and it was 6 a.m. So, I mean, he could have just started.
Yep.
But
Don't they run 7 to 7?
that's usually. it's
yeah, but
usually-
still, if he was just coming,
Oh, yeah. In Clay County, they don't know how to tell time.
but either way, that you pay for what it is, and it's my own fault. I just need to pay attention more.
That's
but
for all the
whatever.
listeners in Clay County. That's KEBLI.
but yeah, so
Kind of sour on those motherfuckers, aren't you?
There are some good parts of Clay County, and they're called golf courses.
there's a lot of Wawas.
I played in
Clay
the golf
County.
tournament today. It was great.
Yeah, how'd you shoot?
65.
Nice.
Oh yeah, wow.
It was,
It was a scramble.
no,
Best ball.
no, it's a golf tournament. We have tournaments out here, bud.
Okay.
I play in tournaments.
Okay.
If I shoot,
Yes.
I mean, if in a scramble, I've been playing a scramble this year at a club called Hollywood.
Shot 59.
I know we did 58.
Oh wow. So
Nice.
you're okay. You have to give me like 30 strokes, and you'll probably still win. So
Okay.
if you're shooting 65, you give me 30 strokes. You're shooting 95. Yeah, we're in the game.
All right.
However, you have to keep up with me, drink for drink.
Not gonna happen.
No,
I'm not a good boozer. I mean,
Okay.
I'm just not. I
You
can't.
used
I can't
to smoke
I
a
can-
cigar when you play?
No,
No.
no.
and I know from listening to the 2 Penny that Jay would absolutely not want to ride in the cart with me.
Why?
From what I understand, that you're not a big fan of the cigarette smoke.
Oh,
That's true. I'm.
yeah.
But it's when you're in a cart.
Yeah.
The wind's blowing. I mean, you're moving. It's not like
Yeah.
you're sitting there fucking puffing it in my face. We're not sitting in a car like I was with my grandma with the windows rolled up.
Right.
It's experience in my life that has caused me to where I fucking hate the being just. I don't want to be in a hot box with anybody smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
Well, not to give anything away, shameless plug, but I was conversing with St. Joe this week, and I was telling him that our guest next week, I'm going to ask him
Mhm.
if he could do something about help me with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not to give anything away, but
I'll tell you another reason you don't want to ride with Kev in the golf cart is there's not sunglasses that are powerful enough to keep those white legs.
dude, you
from
gotta
away
love
from
my
you,
white
man.
legs. Yeah, I
Dude,
got two
dude.
colors: albino and lobster,
I
baby.
mean, up close and personal, dude. That is, whew,
Dude,
man,
my
I'm
legs
telling
are
you.
sexy. You should have seen when I was
Those-
in high school and I shaved them.
I mean, that white
You know.
golf cart and his leg are about the same color.
Well, I mean, hopefully it'll be a little cooler. I'll wear long pants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking, try to text with both you guys today and kind of let everybody know that after last week, I said gear about last week. I don't know what the fuck I talked about this week. I'm glad we found some stuff, but a listener about the same time, I got a DM from a listener and said, hey man, you haven't done a list in a while.
Oh Oh, nice.
You know, you haven't done a list in a while. And if you guys remember back before this thing was unfiltered and it was Kev Unfiltered, I used to do lists like every fucking week. You know, we'd have a list of things like that. Now, I told you that story to tell you this story. I don't know if I've ever said it before, but I drink a lot and I enjoy a drink. I enjoy one drink. And I find that most people, at least socially, you know, have a cocktail here or there, you know, maybe on the weekends, maybe, you know, playing poker, playing golf, whatever, socializing and all that. And those people, those people who don't drink, and you know, there are a lot of people out there. We have a very good friend that doesn't drink. Those people who don't drink are the angels that we like to call designated drivers. But I think, at least I know St. Joe does because he's Catholic and that's what they do. But Jay, do you enjoy a cocktail every now and again?
Yes.
Okay. So you correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to assume things. Have you ever had a shot of liquor?
Yes.
Okay. St. Joe, you've had a shot. I've
Yeah.
been with you drinking.
Yeah.
So these are this list is 10 shots. I want to know if you've had any of these fucking stupid things. Because what's funny is I have. Okay.
All right.
The first one, number 10, is called a Prairie Fire.
Yes.
And it's 1 part tequila or whiskey with 1 part Tabasco hot sauce, then add a sprinkle of pepper to taste.
Yes. I've had one.
Okay. Have you ever had a liquid steak?
No.
Okay. It's 1 part rum with 1 part Worcestershire sauce.
Oh.
What'd you say?
Worcestershire sauce.
Where's your sister? What?
So no one's ever had a liquid steak?
Not me.
Rum
I mean,
and
you
Worcestershire-
can't deny that it's
Worcestershire.
liquid, but it's not going to fucking taste like steak. You know,
Wow.
I don't know.
Who
the
would have ever
combination is
thought of
unholy,
that?
dude. Unholy.
Wow. Okay.
Number 8 is called alligator sperm. And
Now, I am guessing this has different names for the same drink, but I'll wait till
Right.
you say the ingredients.
equal parts melon liqueur and pineapple juice poured into a shot glass with a teaspoon of cream on top.
Yeah. I mean, that's different variations of sort, but
Okay.
I've probably had that in a drink, but it wasn't called alligator sperm.
sure.
Well, have you ever had a bloody tampon?
Yes. Yes, I have, where they take the grenadine and they drip it through the Baileys and the cream and stuff. Yes.
No.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
2 parts vodka, 1 part tomato juice, but you have to suck on a paper napkin for 10
Fuck
seconds before
no.
consuming.
That's fucking stupid. Go fuck
Oh
yourself.
my god.
You know, I was going to go this whole episode without saying go fuck yourself.
That's
But no,
hilarious.
go fuck yourself.
I love it. I love that. That's hilarious.
Number 6, I've had one of these. I worked in the restaurant business for 14 years. I've had one of these, but it's not exclusive to restaurant employees, but a cement mixer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Lime juice and Bailey's.
Disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody ever had a prairie oyster?
No.
It doesn't
It's-
sound good.
It's 1 part bourbon. Then you crack a raw egg into the glass. You add a dash of Tabasco sauce to taste.
No way.
You know what these things are doing? They're either telling people, "Man, I drink too much," because they've tried all these, or "Man, I don't drink it at all." You know, it's kind of like
Right.
watching Leaving Las Vegas. It'll teach you that you drink too much or you don't drink enough. Number 4 is called the Eggermeister. Care to take a crack at this one?
Egg
Yeah.
and Jaeger?
It's 1 part Jaeger into a tall glass. Then you add a pickled egg,
Oh,
but you have to drink it. But before you swallow anything, you have to chew the egg before swallowing.
These don't sound like shots that people are doing. These are shots to make people puke.
Number
Yeah.
3 is called the Infected Whitehead.
oh, God.
That's a great name.
Once again, it's like the name of a band.
So you mix 1 part vodka with Bloody Mary mix, then add a spoonful of cottage cheese.
Oh, for fuck's sake, that's just not good at all. I mean,
It's like
no.
drinking a bloody yeast infection. That's disgusting.
Number 2 is called a tapeworm. And the instructions to make are mix 1 part vodka with 1 part Tabasco sauce, sprinkle with pepper, and then top with a dollop of the 2 Penny Podcast soon to be world famous warm mayonnaise.
Tapeworm. I'd rather have the real tapeworm.
And there, you know how you said earlier, there's different names for these shots. This
Yes.
one being the most popular, but the name that this is giving me is, do you know what a New Jersey Turnpike is?
Oh, come on. I don't.
No?
No.
Okay. St.
I
Joe, do you?
live here. I haven't been here my whole fucking life.
Right. But, well, I mean, dude, I'm not fucking with you. It says New Jersey Turnpike.
Yeah, no.
Okay. It is more commonly referred to in the business as a bar mat.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
so
And
you
what they
take
do is they
everything,
take
yeah.
the bar
every
mat and just
ingredients. Yep.
pour it in the glass,
Yeah.
and here you go at the end of the night.
Yeah.
But but I thought that those were fun. There's your list. You
So
know who
what
you
is
are.
your favorite shot since we're on this? I mean, so not okay, you can tell me your straight up, like, just your go-to shot of straight alcohol. And then if you had to have a mixed shot, if people are doing stuff, whether it be little lemon drops or fucking prairie fires or fucking there's a multitude of them, but what would be your go-to?
If I'm doing straight liquor,
Yeah.
Probably Fireball.
Yeah. I would
Probably.
say, yeah. I mean, I like Fireball too.
I like Jaeger a lot too.
Oh, God.
But
Wow.
I and tequila is at everybody's disposal.
Ooh.
If I'm shooting, it depends on what we're shooting. If we're shooting whiskey, I personally prefer Jack Daniels. But if everybody's like shots, I mean, I'll take a Fireball. I enjoy the taste. A lot of people think it's rough. And it does the trick. Mixed like shooter, or something like that. I've always, and this is back to when I started drinking at the early age of 4, was an Alabama Slammer.
Yeah.
I enjoy those. I think the purpose of a shooter is, to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So yourself.
I it used to always be tequila or whiskey. But I've been known to enjoy some Sambuca. I like it chilled as it can get. But at home, if I run to the freezer right now and just want to have a shot of something right out of the bottle, I don't pour it in a glass. I just tilt the bottle back. It's Screwball peanut butter whiskey. I don't know why, but I think
Peanut
it's
butter whiskey is good.
delicious. Oh my!
Peanut butter whiskey is
Apparently,
good.
one of my friends sent me a picture that they found because they know I like peanut butter whiskey.
Yeah.
They found cookie dough whiskey. And
Mm.
I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, it's funny because when you had mentioned a shot, and I was like, I wonder if you ever had peanut butter whiskey, because it is good.
It's delicious.
It is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, Kev. Fireball is always a good go. That's an easy go-to. Like you just freeze it,
Yeah. I have Fireball in my freezer as well.
So the coolest thing that I've seen with Fireball is at the football at Lambeau Field, they had a track and a block of ice, and they had 3 channels, and they would pour it and they would race, and then the 3 of them would be in and the winner would get the shot. It was
Shot
pretty
luge.
cool. It was
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty
I have
cool, but
one of those here on a smaller scale, like
That's
for
cool.
parties and stuff.
yeah,
Because
that's
we
cool.
have this big bash every other New Year's Eve, and because we switch with another friend every year,
Yeah.
and so we have that here. can get crazy here because you're in the fucking forest.
Yeah.
That was pretty
You know.
cool. But a mixer, I mean, I've always been I know it's kind of an old school drink, but like the kamikaze is okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of wimpy, but I like the lemon drop.
It's not
I
wimpy.
mean, it's not bad.
Yeah. At our age,
But-
nothing's wimpy. Have you ever had a Four Horsemen?
Yes.
Yep.
How
Yep.
about Three Wise Men?
Yep.
Yes.
Jim Jack Joe.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Those were 21st birthday musts.
The
People would just bring you shit.
Well, the cool thing, I don't know if it's still a cool thing now, but I guess the pickleback was big here a little while. I don't know. I didn't think that was that big of a deal, but I don't know. I guess that was a big.
And what are the fucking people, these fucking communists that put a pickle in their fucking Bloody Mary?
Oh, there's some Bloody Marys out there though that'll, they'll knock your County socks off. I mean, they're
but
crazy.
that's a good wake up drink. It's either
Well,
that or a screwdriver.
But some of them are like a meal.
Yeah. I mean,
But they also cost you like
if you
$40.
bring me a cup, if you bring me a cup and it looks like a Sabo Palm, fuck off.
Yeah.
Bring that, because I'm booze and mixer, man.
Yeah. I'm not a Bloody Mary.
I don't
There's no
need.
way.
It's like when you order what's that beer that they Boddingtons, and they bring it with the fucking orange, or a shock top.
Oh,
They
Blue
bring it with
Moon
the
or
fucking
something. Yeah.
Blue Moon. They bring the orange. That
Yeah.
don't fruit the beer. That used to be a commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even have a lime with Corona. I think it's stupid.
Yeah. Well, speaking of stupid
Stupid.
tweets.
Whatever do you mean?
Stupid tweets.
Yeah. All right. Here. Let's see here.
Yeah. So fucking stupid. Oh, as I eat my fucking Crustables.
I know that you knew that's what it was.
All right. We got some tweets here. She passed on the scalloped potatoes because, quote, I don't really like seafood. It was at that moment where I knew she was dumb enough to sleep with me.
Oh my god. Coming in hot.
How to seduce me. Deposit $5,000 in my bank account and don't talk to me.
Jeez. I mean,
I like
that's just true.
Listen to this one closely. This is by a Trumper, by the way. You will never catch me using pronouns.
Oh gosh.
We're not going to explain it to you out there, listener. If you can't get that, then I haven't said this in a while. Come on down to Jayville, and we'll have St. Joe go over there and thump you on the forehead because you're a fucking moron. Next one. When you open up maps and Siri has the nerve to tell you, quote, head west. What am I, fucking Lewis and Clark? Left or right, bitch? If you come to the emergency room with a titanium cock ring that you cannot get off, our ring cutters are not sharp or strong enough to cut it, which will result in us having to call the fire department to get their diamond saw, and this is a very undesired experience for everyone involved.
Wow.
Ouch, babe.
So, say, Joe, don't wear the titanium cock ring.
Wow.
He's like one of them African tribe ladies when he wears a cock ring. He wears like 6 of them.
Right.
Lengthening.
Can we remind everybody out there of the rules of the stupid tweet of the week?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not the tweet, but it's the
Reply.
all right. Tweet says, if someone gave you $200 because you're, quote, ugly, would you take the money? First reply, absolutely. I'm not ugly. I'm ugly. I'm not stupid. Now, if we were just judging off of like what's stupid and not like what's funny, and makes us laugh. It makes the
Mhm.
people out there laugh. This would win by far. This person says, which is more dangerous, coronavirus or COVID-19?
Oh,
Wow. That's just dumb.
They're out there.
wow.
This first tweet says, hello. And at this other person, it says, I don't talk to ugly people. And the first guy says, but I do.
That's good.
And last but not least, in the old tradition of stupid one-line tweets, this person says, I wish we could choose our baby fathers.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, wow.
All right. So
Wow.
I'm guessing by your laughter, if we're going by crowd applause, is she passed on the scalloped potatoes because I don't really like seafood. It was at that moment where I knew she was dumb enough to sleep with me.
I love that one.
Yeah. You guys missed the boat last week.
What do you mean?
My favorite last week was the one about, the face being the problem.
Oh yeah.
I love that one.
There was some
There was some
good
really
ones
good
last
ones
week.
last week.
There was some
Yeah.
good ones last week, but
Definitely scalloped potatoes.
There
Yeah.
are more stupid people every day on Twitter. So,
Oh, yeah.
But Stupid Tweet of the Week brought to you by the Stupid History Minute. Over 150 episodes now streaming wherever you download podcasts. She passed on the scalloped potatoes because I don't really like seafood. It was at that moment where I knew she was dumb enough to sleep with me.
Oh, yeah. So fucking stupid. Dum dum. Dong dong.
oh, did we didn't let the cat out of the bag on that one, did we, Kev? The tweeter was at Beebs UNF Pod, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Jay's like, not funny. Not funny.
Yeah, I mean,
I know that family.
I'm just saying. I don't, there's a lot of people. I mean, you can make fun of people, obviously, because it's fun and it's funny.
Oh, good.
But when it comes to Beebs, I'm telling you, man, the guy's he's good for everything.
Oh,
He's great for telling jokes. He's great for setting them up. He's fine with being the foot of the joke. He doesn't get upset and offended. I mean, he's I don't know.
I got a new dad
I
joke.
love that
for
fucking
him.
guy.
I got a new dad joke for him. What's Peter Pan's favorite place to eat out? Wendy's.
That's good.
Yep. Cab's like, seriously. Yep.
I give you guys a whole fucking episode once a fucking year to get the dad jokes out of your goddamn system. And not only do we do an entire episode of this, what I do is I join in the what you guys call fun.
Yep.
To those of us who spend a lot of hard time writing jokes, and then you guys come up with that stuff.
Yeah.
I go fuck yourself. I think.
Yeah, I texted you the one. I texted you one that nobody responded to anything.
You're not going to get a response out of me.
No.
Unless it's what do you call that? Funny.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hey, a big shout out to I have a podcast in Good
Yeah.
Pods this week for featuring the Unfiltered.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. We really do. It seems we
shot
put
right
seems we put ourselves back on the map a little bit.
It shot right up the charts with that episode.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
You guys actually had 2 episodes in the top 20.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't
Where
see
was
that.
she from? Where was she from?
Washington,
Oh, so there you
the
go. That's
Seattle
why.
area.
Yeah, that's why.
You know, Jake could have gone over and said hi, but he had
Yeah.
left already, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was flying back the night she was on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyhow, not to plug anything here, but I kind of looked at
Oh, look at that hat.
this little shit right here. This is a test article. I wish everybody could see this, but
It's like a trucker hat. That's
little
nice. I kind of
hat
like
here. It
that.
says unfpod.com. And I don't know what I think of it. That's why I haven't put it on the website yet, you know. And I don't think we're going to get, I'm not real big on the quality of it, you know, but I do have one if anybody else would like one and doesn't care about looking stupid, you know. I mean, it looks good backwards, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm over here looking like Jerry Reed and the motherfucking Smokey and the Bandit, you know, fucking
You look
Clint
like
Eastwood.
Jerry Glanville.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking Clint Eastwood and fucking any which way but loose,
It needs a
Yeah.
little more to it.
you know. So there seems to be when you're designing hats and you have so many hats as I do, you know, and I'm kind of a hat connoisseur, especially with the sports hats and things of that nature. I'm one of these guys that a hat has to fit me correctly for me to wear it,
Yeah.
you know, and it's all about feel with me.
Mhm.
So, and I, you know, some people are sneakerheads, some people are I like hats and t-shirts. So, I'm, you know, I didn't feel like putting this, you know, on there, you know, so people could pay, you know,
Yeah.
X amount of dollars for this stupid trucker hat. But
Yeah.
anyhow, it does exist, as I said on the podcast last week,
It is
Interesting.
there.
you know. So, but you could go over to unfpod.com. I'm gonna wear it out too. I'm gonna wear this bitch golfing, you know, and poorly. You know, I might wear it to the bowling alley,
Yeah.
you know, and to the bar.
You
You
could
know.
wear it in your big rig.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could get my big rig, go down Interstate 95 to St. Johns County, get in the left lane in front of St. Joe.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
right.
that's what I could do.
Yeah.
You know, or you could go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
That's a cross between a redneck and Eric Cartman right there.
Nice.
You know. So anyhow, go to unfpod.com. You can get some merch there, and you can check out the brand new page and our friends' other great podcasts that I don't even know if they know that they're on. Did you guys know we had that page?
Yeah. Saw
Okay.
it. Cool.
Okay. So what else?
Nothing, man.
I know that this week I'm going on a fellow Spotlight Cartels podcast.
Oh, yeah?
I've actually never been on her podcast, but
Ooh,
she was on mine. So I'm going to be on Pedals.
nice.
Going to be on there, and I'm assuming it's going to be like all the other ones, you know, the sleepover advice type thing that we've, you know, that Keb's done,
Yep.
and the Beebs has done, and what I know, she's attempted to get St. Joe, or she's mentioned it a few times. I don't know if she's reached out, but I do know that she's, you know, she's going to hit up St. Joe because undoubtedly he's got a lot of advice. He just doesn't share it with everyone, but just going to record this week, and then with her, and then on the 2 Penny, I've got a whole episode dedicated to Flat Earth Dave. And
Nice.
kidding, I don't.
Nice.
Sucks.
I would pay money if you would reach out to that dude to get him on the 2 Penny podcast, and you just guys go, you know, back and forth. That should
No,
be
it's
funny.
not worth it. Not
Right.
It wouldn't be back and forth. It would just be one-sided.
Yeah, no need in giving that anymore.
Yep.
Fucking momentum. Fuck that.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah. So I actually, you know, on the 2 Penny this week, I really don't. It's kind of like most episodes. I have no idea what the hell I'm going to talk about until I start it. So last week I did story time stuff.
Yeah.
And that was a request of one of our somebody, I don't know, but anyway, that was kind of fun.
Yeah, it's good.
to give another shout out, the newest episode of A Nefarious Nightmare that released today. We record this on Tuesday. That released today has 2 of the members of UNF Pod on there. It does have Mr. Jay Jones on there, as well as myself, in doing their Patreon Florida Man series.
Yeah.
I don't know, St. Joe. Every time that somebody says Florida Man, do you get offended or proud?
Nah, doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
No, it's all good.
Every time they start making fun of people that live in Florida, I'm just like, look, dude, I live where you want a vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sure, Jay, you feel the same way being at the shore.
Sometimes I don't really care. I actually, if it wasn't for the people that vacation here and visit here, we probably wouldn't have the stuff we have. So
Yeah, exactly.
bring your fucking money.
Yeah.
We'll gladly take it. It's all been arranged to get your money.
Yeah.
So, but what you got going on the 2 penny this week, Jay?
Nothing. That's pretty much it. I'm sure I'll talk about whale dicks or fucking, or I'll just repeat everything that we talked about on this episode.
No.
I'll do that. I'm going to. Yep, verbatim. It's going to be a long one. Like an hour and 16 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
So, Joe, what you got going on? Nothing? Okay, cool. We can be found at unfpod.com, at unfpod on Twitter. Send us a shout out. We got a special guest next week and the week after that. 2 special guests in a row. We don't like to do that, but we're going to for these special people. So for Jay, for St. Joe, my name is the Keb. We'll catch you guys next week.
The opinions on this podcast may strike some listeners as vulgar, offensive, or, worst of all, serious. Please adjust your expectations and interpretations accordingly. In other words, lighten the f*** up. For all other concerns, complaints, and court documents, please direct those towards the nearest brick wall. Thank you for listening.